this year and is a new leading Reds achiever. She was crowned Queen of Unit Sales, and she led her unit to the $1 million Circle of Excellence for the very first time this year. Callie's highest monthly commission check, now a little bit higher than my highest check, so far is over $30,000. And on a personal note, I want to share with you that this year I saw my daughter work harder than I've ever seen her work before. Many was the night she would stay up late, long after she put her children to bed, communicating with her unit. But it's called short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And the driving force for her sacrifice was to see her family and her unit recognized on this seminar stage. And as her mom, I have to tell you that crowning her as the queen of the Ruby Seminar last night was even better than becoming the national sales director. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Independent Executive Senior Sales Director, Callie DeBlander Brigham. But above all, the world needs dreamers who do. I am so grateful that the Brigham unit said yes to this dream, to our $1 million #1 dream. You did it! You did it. I could name 1 million reasons why you deserve this accolade. You rallied, you worked, you grew, you led, you believed. You have given me the greatest gift I could ever ask or pray for, and it's not because of what you've done. It's because of who you are. You are my holy surprise this year. And to all of you at the Ruby Seminar, wake up and say yes to your dreams too. They come true in Mary Kay. I had a colorful childhood. The short version, my hippie parents met on a commune, the stars were in line, and here I am. Even though we had a lot of love, we had a little money. Our cars broke down on the side of the road more than once. Our vacations were camping or to visit family because it was free. I went school shopping at Goodwill, and on and on. Eventually, when I was a teenager, my mom was given a lifeline. My Aunt Kathy had just started her Mary Kay business because a friend needed just one more person to hear about the Mary Kay opportunity to win a prize. My aunt said yes, but only to help out. I'm so glad that friend didn't stop short of her goal. And I'm so glad my aunt then offered this business to my mom, who even though she didn't seem to be your typical Mary Kay consultant, she wore no makeup, we had just moved, she scraped together the money for a starter kit. She saw Mary Kay as what it is for so many of us, hope. My mom's success story had humble beginnings, but our lives slowly started to change. And as my mom found her confidence, mine grew too. After college, I landed my dream job with NBC News in Memphis, Tennessee. I could not have been more excited, but boy, was I in for a shock. I worked nonstop, 50 to 70 hours a week. I slept with a pager by my bed in case breaking news happened in the middle of the night. I felt overworked, underpaid, unappreciated, negative, and stressed out. I'll never forget the Thanksgiving when I ate dinner all by myself in an empty break room with cold leftovers, only to call my mom from work the next day to complain, but she didn't have time to talk because she was hitting the Black Friday sales. I spent my days dealing with the most horrific things that were happening in the world. I was at work and we had to find a local angle for the Columbine shootings. I produced a funeral for a family who had just lost 2 of their 3 daughters in a train crash. I did stories about the expectant wife of a fallen police officer. It's hard to be positive when you're filling your head with things like that. Part of me became immune to all of the tragedy. But at the same time, I would often cry myself to sleep because I was so stressed out. I started to have major health problems, and all of a sudden I was willing to look at what I wasn't willing to look at before. My mom's Mary Kay. Throughout this time, she was earning Cadillacs, buying a new home, going on vacations. I was jealous. I was mad. And I was finally ready for a change. I humbled myself and nervously became an independent beauty consultant. It wasn't a stellar start. I didn't open my kit for a month because I was scared. When I finally did, I called my mom in tears because I couldn't get the flip chart put together. It's like upside down, backwards, around. I just knew I couldn't do this. I remember that I only knew a couple of people in this, and I certainly didn't want to facial my coworkers. I didn't want to hear their snotty comments or make them have fun of me, make fun of me. And for crying out loud, could my mom just stop talking about seminar that was coming up in a few weeks? By chance, an extra ticket was available, and she was begging me to go. I had a great excuse though. July is sweeps months in TV news, and we're not allowed to take time off. So I knew for sure that I would never get off a couple days in July. But my mom was determined, and I finally told her I would request it. I walked out of my boss's office with a vacation approval in July. Thank you, Mom, for being persistent. Seminar really did change everything. I heard stories like you heard this week that pierced my worn out heart. I saw women that I wanted to be like, and I felt hopeful again. If she can do it, I can do it. I came home to the same exact circumstances, but with a completely different attitude, and that, my friends, makes all the difference. I committed to a power start. I committed to 30 faces, even though I only had 10 names on my booking list. But I pulled the friend card, I told them my goal, and I asked them to introduce me to people. And it worked! I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I could see it was worth it. I was done with low-living, small-minded people and status quo. I set my quit date, and I told myself I would do 5 more months of power starts, no matter what life threw at me. After 6 months of power starts, I had my Independence Day. It was my last day at the TV station. I walked out of those doors, and I felt the chains break off. I had my life back. And don't get me wrong, there were plenty of ups and downs. Okay, my first team member left me a voicemail on her way to the post office to return her start kit. Very first team member. A close friend of mine promised she would be my final team member to complete earning the use of my first career car, and the night before the end of the month, she changed her mind. I gave away more in hostess credits some nights than I sold in product. I had people hang up on me. People didn't answer their door for an appointment, even though I could hear them inside. Like, I know you're there. I know you're there. But if you've been letting those people decide your story, no more. Because when you reach the goal, you'll only be thinking of those who did to support you and your dreams. Release what other people think and run your own race. I prioritize my God, my family, and my career in that order and with a period after it. Thanks to this, yes, to our priorities of Mary Kay. And thanks to this amazing company, as my business grew, so did the choices. Okay, the travel. I saved up my skincare party money and I paid for our honeymoon to Italy, spending money and all. And then experiencing the top sales director trips, First, to the coast of Spain, eating lobster at an outdoor cafe, looking at the billion-dollar yachts moored in the harbor. Then Munich, Germany, and a day trip to Salzburg, where my little girl dream came true of walking the same streets that Maria and the Von Trapps from Sound of Music danced on. I still have chills. Monte Carlo and the south of France, grabbing some crusty bread and a hunk of cheese and wine tasting in Old Town Nice. Climbing the Great Wall of China and dining at the Great Hall of the People on the 50th anniversary of our beloved Mary Kay Cosmetics, hearing the blessing before we ate, praying in Jesus' name in the building that represents communism. Wow. Thank you, Mary Kay. The 4 seasons in Maui, Hawaii, the ultimate luxury, getting couples massages, listening to the waves crash from the Pacific. The secret? Seeing faces, not quitting, not listening to any negativity, staying consistent, learning how to pivot, waiting my turn, working. Family. Josh and I love the choices that Mary Kay has brought us. This has included retiring him from his job at ad agency so he can start his own design firm and also work for the family business. We have so much fun, working hard and playing hard. And deep down though, we knew one of the reasons that I chose the Mary Kay business over a traditional job was for when we had kids. And unfortunately, that didn't come easy for us. I went through miscarriages and infertility and had a really rough emotional and physical time in my life. We chose to not give up hope and hang on. We sought medical specialists, we prayed a lot. Last night, we met our 6-year-old miracle boy and our 4-year-old miracle girl. I know, and I have to fix something that happened last night. Okay. So you may have seen Maddie crying. And I didn't realize what I had done wrong. You know how Mary Kay says that we should all have a sign around our neck that says, make me feel important? Well, apparently I forgot to say something to her, and I'm going to fix it right now. Madeline Bell, if Mom had all the girls in the world, and I could only pick one girl, which girl would I pick? That's right, I would pick you. I had to fix that. Sorry. We all have time. I remember the significant days when they turned 6 weeks, 9 weeks, and 12 weeks old. They're sitting right here. I would snuggle with you guys, kissing all over you, knowing that if I had decided to stay at the TV station, I would be leaving you to go with someone else to go back to work. And not only did those thoughts impact just me, but I started to heal emotionally, and I wanted other women to know that there was hope for them too. I got brave, and I started sharing my story, and I met with so many women who had the same story. So 3 years ago, I started a support group with prayer warriors that lift up women across the nation who want to be mommies. We cry together, we rejoice together, we care for each other. Our group has grown to nearly 300, and we have almost 100 babies that have been born or adopted through our home group. And some of them are in here today, some of those mommies and mommies to be. I'm so grateful that Mary Kay has become so much more than just my job, and has transformed my platform and my mission, and perhaps God has called you to do this so much more than just to sell lipstick. What is your platform? Don't waste your story. Don't waste your pain. Get a voice. Get in front of women. Skincare gets you in the door, but offering hope leads to life change. We have a responsibility to grow our businesses and our influence so others can be loved and be better. Let's think about that the next time we're scared to book a party or ask for a referral. Your boldness can be the answer to someone's prayers. And then the homes. You heard I began my business with an 800 square foot duplex, and if my hostess was having more than 3 friends, we had to do it at her house because I only had 4 chairs. I didn't have a washer and dryer, so when Mary Kay came out with disposable washcloths, I was a happy girl. We bought our first home after we got married, thanks to my Mary Kay income. And 2 years ago, we moved into what many would know as the Yellow House. Years ago, my parents built a beautiful yellow tree home on Pensacola Beach. They sold it, and through a crazy and miraculous turn of events, Josh and I bought it from the current owners. We now live 5 doors down from my parents. The most special part of the house, though, is the legacy. When my mom started building the house from the ground up, she put her heart and soul in it. The finest materials, the best contractors, the top of the line everything. She had a vision. She wrote scripture on the posts as the house was going up. The only she'd cut corners, use shoddy materials, and let things slide. Can you imagine the regrets? She wouldn't want us to live there. I'm so grateful she did what was unseen with excellence because it was revealed years later. And so it is with us, with our choices. We may think that no one else is affected by what we do in secret, but they are. Our children, our friends, our community. What legacy will you build today? One that you are proud to pass on? Today, your behavior, the choices you're going to make as you leave this place, are they ones you want to be remembered for? I see you today. I see you. I see you from the front row all the way to the back. From each corner of this place, I see you. I see you. I see you. Choose the best for yourself and your family today. Wake up. Let your dreams call you by name. Do you hear them? They're calling your name. And say yes to those dreams today. I love you all. Ruby Seminar, you are the best. Have an amazing year. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a standing ovation to Independent Executive Senior Sales Director, Allie DeBlander Brigham.